Hey, welcome back to Casey's Crazy Ideas, and today I am going to talk to you guys about our F250 Power Stroke that the oil cooler kept overheating on. So we had bought this contraption from trying to do two things at once here, from Fix Your 60 guy, and it's been working great since. So what you do, I'll show you the video here in a second once you get through this part, where you take part of it and you take the part out the oil cooler where your EGR would be, you bolt this on, and then you know, this goes in place of it. You put this kind of like a drain cock from your radiator, and you put this up there, and it allows you to shut it off and seal it up, so you leave it on the truck permanently. And when you need to flush your oil cooler, because the 60s have this problem where the coolant side clogs up, and then your oil temperature spikes to, like, you know, not good, 220s, 250s. However, well, this allows you to flush everything backwards and push it all back out. You do have to disconnect your lower radiator hose to make all this happen, so try and save your coolant and then start the flushing. But you put this piece on there and it allows you to hook up compressed air at about 15 pounds, give or take, because remember, you don't want to put more air than your system would normally take, otherwise you can blow it apart. So we did ours around 15 pounds, hook the garden hose up to the other end, and then you leave the water on constantly, and then you take the other valve and you tweak the air on for, you know, a couple seconds or a minute at a time. And what the compressed air does is acts like a turbo flush. It takes your water and pressurizes it like a power washer to within a safe reason and blows it all out. And so we do that about once a year, and it seems to work great, because we just had that problem here with ours where our temps were skyrocketing, so we knew it was time, and so we hooked all this stuff up, and it takes about an hour and a half, somewhere in there, to do this, between draining it out, you know, doing the whole flush, the refill, the test drive, make sure everything, all the air pockets are out. As long as you get through all that, and you're done, and you're good for a long time. So, and in the other part of this video, you're going to see a bucket with a bunch of stuff in the bottom. And yes, that legitimately came out of the lower hose, which is what was in the system plugging it up. So, all that bits in the bottom of this white bucket, yeah, that's no joke. And actually, the first time we flushed it, the amount that came out times what you're going to see in that bucket by 3, and we basically had a layer of sand in the bottom of it. That's how filthy it was. I'm hoping this camera ain't bouncing too much because I'm in construction though. Let's see. So yeah, we did that, and the filter that we have in the coolant system to allow it to help stop this, you know, we pulled it apart. It had a bunch of junk in there, and I have a photo of that in this video as well. Well, turns out that the wick filter you can't run because it also rusts internally, which we ended up switching out to a Fleet Guard. And then there's also, I think, a Baldwin or something, I think it's a red filter, that are more designed for this. Like, because, you know, your coolant or antifreeze is slightly corrosive depending on, you know, its viscosity of how much water, how much coolant you got, all that stuff. So we ended up switching that out like right away, and we're gonna see how it all goes. And so far the truck's been fine since. We already pulled the trailer with it, temps are down. I don't have a video of the temps, but you know, if you don't have the EGR on there anymore, you usually run between 200, right around 200 degrees. Towing the trailer, we usually get about 210, maybe 220, and it cools off. But we were spiking the 240, 250 did the video, I didn't really talk too much. I was too focused on getting this done, especially working with my brother, trying to do it because we're on time limited when we're doing it, so we're hustling. So I just took a quick video of how the hoses were hooked up down there, best I can, and then I figured I'd do this after section here where I explain it to the best of my abilities. But there is the info in there of where we got the parts, what the contraption looks like, we best we could of how it was installed, the hoses that we were using. There is a fix to all this where you can actually buy a kit. It's about $1,000, and you can move your oil cooler system from the valley. You get the high pressure hoses and all that stuff. Like I said, it's about $1,000. I don't remember who sells it anymore, but I'm sure anybody can figure that out if you own one of these trucks. So there's always that option. Which, will we do it? We'll see. I mean, if we have to keep doing this on a constant rate, then we might consider it in a few years. But without further ado, without me blabbing you guys off, here's the video of what we're doing. That's just the air one, right?
No, that's just the air. It's gonna hit with the air for the extra pressure.